Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats.
You know, sometimes the bonds of family are so tight they can strangle you. And if you're within the sound of my voice, that must mean that you're in the seats with once more. As always, my name is Dave Voigt, and I'm the host of this podcast, where we sit down with a wide-ranging variety of entertainment industry professionals and pick their brain about current projects, state of the industry, how they got started, and so very much more in a light and conversational fashion. You know, if you like how we do things around here, I'm going to assume that you do. Because you're listening. So please keep listening. And subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, gives you a 5-star rating. And your podcast provider of choice. We're available pretty much everywhere. Places like Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Google. Plus, we archive every single one of our episodes over at our In the Seats YouTube channel. So you can give us a like and subscribe there as well for this audio-only experience. We'd really appreciate it. Also, don't hesitate to check us out on social media. We're on the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, Letterboxd, the TikTok, the Blue Sky, the Threads. I lose track. We're everywhere. But we're in the seats for all sorts of fun updates. And finally, and I do dare say most importantly, please pay us a visit over at In the Seats, intheseats.ca, for all the latest and greatest from the world of film, television, basically the moving image at large. Because, you know, if we love to watch it and write about it and talk about it, we love it all that much more when you come by and read about it and listen about it. So please do us that ultimate kindness. Come on by and pay us a visit. Every visit counts. It matters. It really does. As we're sweltering here on a late Thursday night here in Toronto, we're just talking about movies, as we always do. And we've got one hitting theaters tomorrow, or tonight maybe even, for a limited run, before it comes on to Shudder in approximately a week, I do believe. And it's a good one. A little piece of Canadiana from writer-director Mark O'Brien called The Voices of Our Mother. And it's the story of a family matriarch who falls seriously ill, and the family comes back together and discovers that their shared ties, ancestral and otherwise, bind them in some pretty dark, warped, and unexpected ways. Like I said, this is from writer-director Mark O'Brien, who you may recognize from films like Nuremberg and Arrival. He's one of our better actors, but he's also really making a name for himself as one of our better writer-directors, especially in the horror genre. His first film was The Righteous, many of you saw, I'm sure that you loved as well. And his follow-up, is just as creepy and unsettling. It's starring Sheila McCarthy, Georgina Riley, and himself. And it's really evocative of like the gothic styles that he tends to like to shoot and sort of honor in his sort of tastes of horror. There's a lot of like muted colors. There's a lot of imagery. There's a lot of, well, to be blunt, there's a lot of fucked up stuff. But I mean, I think that's what he specializes in. But ironically enough, he's a delightful guy, and we had the chance to sit down and talk with Mark about the film. We nerded out over that. We nerded out over a mutual friend of his, James Vanderbilt, and just sort of our love of cinema and physical media altogether. He is definitely one of Canada's rising I don't want to say rising talents. He's been around for a while, but he's really establishing himself as an actor and a director. And like I said, The Voices of Our Mother is a bent little piece of cinema. And if that's kind of what tickles your fancy, you're going to enjoy this. Like I said, it's got a limited run in theatrical. It's going to hit VOD in about a week, and it's also coming to Shudder at some point pretty soon. But check it out when you can. But first, enjoy our talk with Mark, because it's a darn good one. It's the 4th time we've talked to him. I think this is probably the best one yet. We'll see you soon. Brother, Voices of Our Mother. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, man.
Wild movie, man.
Yeah.
I absolutely dug it.
Oh, thank you. Oh, good.
Now, obviously, you've got your tastes go a little gothic.
Yes.
And I mean, I kind of just love this line that is so centered to the movie. You know, you're no one else's but mine. I mean, where was sort of the origin of that? Because it's such a perfect encapsulation of this entire piece.
Thank you. It's your mine and no one else's.
Oh, your mine and no one else's. Your mine and no one else's.
It's not a big deal. Because a lot of the idea of this movie came from having a kid.
Yeah.
And I have a child who is everything to me, and you are responsible for that child more than anyone else can be. Except for your partner, of course. Yeah. But, like, they are yours and no one else's.
Yeah.
And in a way, you are theirs and no one else's too.
Yeah.
And that link is forever. You know what I mean? So there's a saying I remember growing up in Newfoundland that it's once a man, twice a child.
Right.
So it's like when you're older, you need help again. So how will you help that person? You'll probably do it based on the way they helped you or didn't help you.
Right.
So your mind and no one else's has a sinister undertone to it. And I remember there was this book my mother used to read me when I was younger, and I couldn't remember the book, but it had some sort of line like that stuck with me. The idea stuck with me because I can't remember the exact verbiage, but it was some idea like that. And I was like, wow, there's something kind of weird about that. Like you're linked whether you like it or not. And so that was a huge crux of the idea for the movie.
Because, I mean, there's a sweetness to it, but there's really an insidiousness to it.
Yeah, you can't get rid of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when your kid, if your kid or your mom does something, they're still your kid or your mom or your dad. Like, that you can't unbreak that.
Yeah.
And so I think that can have a scary side to it. And that's kind of what I was trying to expose. Well, and even, I won't give anything away, obviously, but even the way the movie ends, it's like, what does that mean? What does this mean going forward, really?
Yeah.
Because when it's said, at every time it's said in a different way in the movie.
Yeah. For sure. Now, in watching it, I mean, obviously I love the visual aesthetic of it. I mean, it looks amazing. And I mean, I love your use of just sort of the saturated reds and the colors and the shadow. And I mean, I'm going to make a broad comparison here, but I say it with love. In watching it, I kind of felt like this was the Langoliers. Like it was a movie that was existing just sort of adjacent to reality.
Yes. That was always kind of the plan. Even The Righteous, my first film, was...
Yeah.
You don't really know where this is. And so for me, this was always... I knew that there's like an Exorcist vibe to it, even though the movie kind of spins that and subverts that idea. But I wanted it to feel... I love those 70s movies so much. Not even the horror movies.
Totally, yeah.
But like Bertolucci movies.
My God, yeah.
Yeah, like that feel and vibe I wanted to exist. So we used a lot of the aqua. There's a lot of aqua in the movie.
Yeah.
And reds obviously are used very, very intentionally. So it's almost like a bit of a Fulci kind of...
Exactly, yeah.
It was very intentionally like Giallo kind of inspired too, but bringing it into a real human situation that's not just like blood and gore and schlockiness. So that was intentional, that it's like, even the way I'm dressed, because I love Bertolucci so much,
right.
I'm dressed like Marlon Brando's character
You
last
totally,
Tango and Pride.
totally are.
Literally, I said, I'm going to take his wardrobe, not the character, not the talent of the actor, but I'm going to take his wardrobe and I'm going to put it in this movie because that's so fucking crazy to do that. And I love mixing those things together.
Now, I mean, I got to ask, because, I mean, obviously Sheila is a Canadian icon, and I mean... On top of that, you've got this part for her where it's like, okay, I'm going to let you go batshit crazy.
Yeah. Well, I feel
was that the pitch?
yeah, very much. Yep. No, but it's kind of like, I think actors kind of like that.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
This is kind of fun. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Danny Lewis, you're going to play Bill the Butcher. It's like sick. Like, everyone kind of wants to do that, and she's really game. She's the most open to do anything in a scene. She's just so pro. But also... I like operatic movies, man. Like,
totally.
I loved Mother.
My God, me too, yeah.
Like, I love big movies. I love De Palma, and I probably said to you before, I always wanted to rest somewhere between De Palma and Bergman, where it's like, you know, one laments about...
I think you have, actually.
I've said this quote. One laments about his parents not giving him any toys, and the other one just wants to play with toys.
Yeah.
And I think that there's that operatic, dramatic, over-the-top quality, maximalist nature. I love that in movies because I love being grabbed and just pulled along, and that's what this was. I mean, it's only 93 minutes and there's so much that happens.
Well, and I mean, there's so much internal drama with the family as well, and I mean, it's not something you're necessarily hitting us over that. Like, we know what happened, but we don't necessarily know what happened.
Yeah.
Like, I love the ambiguity of that and being able to sort of giving us sort of a chance to fill in the blanks. Because, I mean, for me as an audience member, that's where I have the most fun.
Yeah, of course.
Where I can sort of extrapolate and sort of go places with it.
Yeah, you're a participant in, like, I think, and you don't even know if you can trust them. But the point is that they're being infected by the mother anyway.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happens sometimes when you're around someone who's a problem in your life. They get in there. They seep in there. And it's even like for artists, if like, you know, you're told you're no good or you're rejected or you get a bad review or whatever the hell it is, it seeps in there. So if you had a parent like that, it's just like you turn against each other. And so it was a challenge then to take the actual plot of what happened and weave it in there just subtly of why they have these problems with one another.
Now, I mean, I gotta ask because, I mean, obviously independent film, but that basement was amazing. Like, was that a find or was that a set build?
That was the most amazing thing ever. That house was like our 5th house we looked at, and right away I was like, this is the house. And then one of the producers, Chris Cheroux, he was like, there's a studio that some guys just opened here. It's like a warehouse that they're turning into a studio. We should go check it out, just see if we want to do anything there, which we did. We built Harriet's bedroom in there. And then we were like, they have a basement. And I was like, let's look at it. And the basement was an actual basement that was just in the factory that they cleaned out and they were using for shoots. And I was like, I totally buy this basement in that house we're going to use. So it was just a find. It just kind of happened.
Love it. Yeah. Love it. Chris is a sweetheart, by the way, man. I'm so glad I got to work with you on this one.
He's the best. He's the nicest guy in the world. Works so hard. He's so helpful. Yeah.
Now, I mean, I'm curious because obviously, second feature, and you're also acting again, taking a significant role. How do you find the balance of sort of being in front of the camera and being behind the camera, trying to do sort of both jobs?
It's definitely a lot. I definitely wake up on the days I'm not acting and I'm like sick. I'm like, oh my God, I have to do that. But then I also want to get in there too. But the best direction you can give an actor is act in a scene with them, because you're just giving them what you want it to be without me having to say anything outside what's in the script. So it's kind of fun. You kind of like lead the tone, and you're like, this is what we're going to do. This is the pace of it. So it's definitely challenging. And me and Scotty, my DP, we figured out a system of what works for us of me seeing playback.
Yeah.
Which normally is just me toggling through it really quickly to be like, okay, cool, I was in frame and everything. So it's a lot, but I find that immersive experience really helpful in getting across the full picture of what I want the movie to be.
I mean, and how does I'm trying kind of curious with you when you're casting and looking at other actors, because I mean, to me, when I watch this, you don't necessarily have to be versed in sort of dysfunctional 70s family horror, but it helps.
For sure. Yeah.
Like when you're talking to actors and going out to people, like, what do you kind of look for? Because, I mean, obviously you don't want people to mimic things, but at the same time you want people to be sort of familiar with the tone that you're trying to capture.
Yeah, it is kind of challenging. I remember when I did The Righteous, Henry Czerny, I showed him like all these Carl Theodore Dreyer and Bergman movies.
Oh my God, yeah.
and it really worked, I guess, because he's amazing. But for this, I didn't do any of that, because I was just like, let's just focus on kind of the drama and the family and the resentments and who they are, and they're all very pocketed of what they are, and they all have a very specific voice. So I tried to not relate it to anything, because it was so dramatic already of what's happening with them, that it's just like, just play the subtext. Just play how you actually feel about me in each other, in each scene. Like, no matter what you're saying, just play how you actually feel. Because you don't, when you're with your family, you'll say how you really feel.
Yeah.
And I think, but then there's certain things you won't say. So I was like, we're almost playing the things we won't say all the time.
Well, and I mean, it's that idea too, especially when it comes to family and the, I guess, crossover with the idea of faith, because inherently you're going to have a little bit of faith in your family, no matter how fucked up they are.
Yeah.
And there are faith issues that kind of come up in the movie, but at the same time, it's like, it's the understanding of, you know, I guess maybe the abandonment of it, or sort of the it's nice that we had this, but Jesus Christ, it's not working. She's really that evil.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think it's, because in a way, there's a lot of ways you know, because obviously people ask me like, oh, the second kind of religious movie. I was like, totally, because I think the stakes within the church are very interesting.
Right.
But in a way, this is not that religious in a way, because even Georgina's character, Annika, is like, she's ran away and is hoping God's going to solve her problems, which is not working.
Yeah.
So sort of immediately makes it not a religious movie, because it's like, it's not working, because you can't rely on something else. And to get really metaphysical about it, like, my idea of like, I'm not a practicing Catholic in any kind of way, but I appreciate that it helps people and whatnot. But I think it's something within you that gives you security. And we all need some sort of certainty within us that allows us to move forward.
Exactly.
And she thought it was this thing.
Yeah.
And it actually is just not working for her.
Yeah.
And it has to be more than that. And so I thought that was interesting too, where we're not using the crutch of her faith helping her necessarily. It's really just about her strength helping herself.
Do you get a long time on a shoot like this, or was it a quick summer?
This was 15 days.
15 days?
It
wow.
was absolutely breakneck. It was...
Down and dirty Canadian indie filmmaking. 15 days, people.
Yeah.
He had that on set and catering in Nuremberg.
Yeah, I did. I spent 15 days picking up my lunch. It was crazy, man. But I kind of like it, too. It's like, I'm a run and gun, like, let's shoot, let's do it. I know what I want it to be. And I was also hemmed in by the amount of time. This is a bold movie that is not going to be for everybody.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of movies I appreciate. Like Mother, for example.
Yeah.
Aronofsky. People hate that movie, but I'm like, but he challenged you, and at least he got a reaction as opposed to being like, oh, I'm bored, I don't remember that movie. I think you'll remember this.
Exactly. Yeah,
and
yeah,
I think when you have those creative barriers, if I didn't, I could have went more safe. Because I have time and whatnot, and maybe I'll go safe with the movie a little bit, make it a bit more easy to take or whatnot. But because of those barriers, I had to stick to my guns. So I was forced to be like, no, this is the movie I'm making.
And that's such an interesting dynamic to navigate too, because on one end, if you try to play the safe route, you're like, okay, maybe it'll be a little more successful financially, it'll help me on the next one, blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, if everyone's quiet when they're watching it and nothing happens, I'm fucked.
Exactly. and also you want to make something that's lasting. And I don't know, but I bet you are. I'm a big rewatcher, and I wonder how this holds up.
Of course, yeah.
I remember watching The Good Shepherd, De Niro's movie. I was like, this movie sucks. I watched it 5 years later. I was like, this movie's a masterpiece. Movie's always going to affect you differently at different points. And so I'd rather make an impact and make a statement of what I want to say, and then it's up to everyone else whether you like it or not. And I think that, to me, you could go the safe route and safe route is trying to please, is what it is. Like, I'm just trying to please everybody. But I'm not. I'm trying to actually provoke and just get you excited or interested. Because this is the way I love movies. When I see something I love saying it like this. Man, did you ever see this movie called blah, blah, blah? Like, that, to me, I'm like, when someone says that, I'm like, I gotta see that movie, man. Like, The Beyond.
Yes.
The Fulci movie.
Yeah.
Chris Giroux's favorite movie of all time.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Producer of this movie. And he said, one day he was like, have you ever seen this movie?
Yeah, when someone leans in and gives you that look, totally. You're 100% right.
And I was like, I gotta see this fucking movie, man. And I saw it, and I was like, it's not really for me, but god damn it, I appreciate that movie a lot. And I liked it for what it was. So I think that, to me, has more lasting value.
And I mean, for you as obviously an actor and a filmmaker, I've got to imagine that's got to be something that you have to sort of consciously be focused on. Because I mean, I love your comparison just with, how movies kind of hold up. Godfather 3, obviously compared to 1 and 2, is the lesser of the 3.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily a bad movie.
Coda was, I loved it.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a really good movie, actually.
Yeah.
It's just
compared to
what are you gonna do? So I think it's like it's you have to take everything in context, and I think your preconceived notions going in are gonna make everyone feel differently about something. But I also like movies that say more than one thing. I like it when there's complex things going on. Like in this movie, it's like it has to deal with motherhood, has to deal with the way you raise your children, it has to deal with the way you take care of a parent, has to deal with dementia and the complexities of that, coming back home, it's your own strength and your own faith in yourself and moving on with your life. And even in this movie, Georgina's character, Annika, she starts completely covered up as this nun, and by the end, she's John McClane. You know what I mean? It's you're unburdening yourself. And I felt like with The Righteous, I dealt with the same thing of self-confrontation. I have to deal with this thing within me before I can move forward. And that, to me, is fascinating. And so if you get people thinking that, I'll say this too, David Lynch might be my favorite director. And I only love 3 or 4 of his movies.
Yeah, fair, yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't love Wild at Heart.
Yeah.
I might be in the minority. I don't love Inland Empire.
Yeah.
I appreciate them. I don't love Dune, obviously. Few do.
Yeah.
But Fire Walk with Me, I really like, but I don't love. I love Blue Velvet, I love Elephant Man, I love Mulholland Drive more than anything in the world, and I really, really like Lost Highway.
Yeah.
That's not a huge percentage, but man, what a filmmaker. And I think that's really cool because he's stuck to his guns so much. And when he nails it, it's so satisfying.
Oh, totally.
What's your favorite Lynch?
For me, honestly, probably Mulholland.
Yeah, me too.
Probably Mulholland. I mean, I've got such a soft spot for Lost Highway.
It's so good.
Just the way they framed it, and I mean, I like when they put out the 4K, I rewatched it, and I was like, oh my god, this movie just blew my mind all over again.
It makes you miss Lynch on film.
Exactly.
Because then when Inland Empire, I was like, you know what, like, it just doesn't feel like his like the like what's the word, like the texture to a Lynch movie on film just felt so right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I guess this leads to my next question, because that idea of unburdening yourself and sort of having these ideas. I know we've talked about this before, but like, I'm curious: are you permanently the actor/director now? Like, do you see that as sort of your job going forward?
I think maybe I've directed a movie since this too.
That's right. Yeah.
So I guess so, because as an actor, I just feel like to me it never really made sense to sit around and wait for a job. So to me, if I'm not acting...
In this business, you can't.
You can't. It's crazy. And outside of, like, you know, responsibilities of family and taking care of them and making money, I'm quite picky, too. So to me, I'm like, if I'm not acting, I'm writing. Or I'm developing or trying to get it made or doing meetings. And I think I can't stop that. Like, I just love it too much. So I think it is actor-director, I suppose.
I mean, is that with the joy of something like a Nuremberg coming up, you know, crosses your desk? It's like, this is really good, and it pays my mortgage for the next 12 months.
It's satisfying in many, many different directions. I think also with Nuremberg is like such a great script.
Yeah.
Jamie Vanderbilt's a friend of mine, so it was like I got to work with a friend. I'd worked with Richard E. Grant before. I'd worked with Russell Crowe before. Leo Woodall and I had a lot of friends in common. We became very close. And so the whole thing was sort of like family, and we all got John Slattery, we all became very close on that movie. And so it was great doing that, knowing it's good, and also knowing it's going to be seen.
Yeah.
Like, this movie's not going to be like, oh yeah, I never heard of it. Like, this is going to get a proper release, and it deserves it. And it is really nice to share your movie with an audience.
Oh, 100%.
And that got a really strong audience or something.
100%, man. I gotta tell you James Vanderbilt's story, though, just real quick.
Yeah, no, throw it at me.
Got to talk to him when you're doing TIFF, when he had Truth out. Great movie.
I like that movie a lot,
Really enjoyed it a lot, but I'll admit I spent half my time talking about Basic, just because I fucking love Basic.
And he wrote it when he was like 25.
I know.
Yeah.
And I mean, we just went back and forth on that, had a real good time. Years later, I'm doing a Zoom call for Scream 6. His face pops up. He's like, dude!
You like Basic?
Yeah!
Because I tell him about it because I'm a John McTiernan.
Of course,
obsessor.
yeah.
And I'm like, man, Basic is a sick movie. And he's always like, it's very nice of you to say. And I'm like, I don't get why you don't think it's great. It's so good. And the fact that he wrote Zodiac when he was like 29.
I know, wild.
That's so funny. Georgina loves Basic too.
Oh, that's fantastic.
She loves Basic. She's like,
not enough people. We got to preach the gospel of Basic. You know?
I know. I don't know why. I don't get it. I'm trying to figure it out.
Now, I mean, obviously, just with this, I mean, getting a limited run theatrically, but it's going to Shudder.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've had the Arrow sort of crowning, and now you've had the Shudder crowning. As a horror fan, how does that kind of feel?
It's really cool. I remember when I found out Arrow wanted to pick up The Righteous, I was like, does that mean I get discounts on Blu-rays now? Which I did not. But I was so excited. And the day I met with them to, like, finalize it, like, over Zoom, like, obviously, like, you know, I wasn't involved in the initial, like, monetary checks. But they wanted to meet me and everything. I was like, I want to meet them before we sign off. And there was a Shudder or an Arrow sale that day, and I bought 14 Arrow Blu-rays that day. I was like, and I told them on the call, I was like, I wonder if they'll like give me a code or something. I didn't, but it was so cool because like Criterion and Arrow are my two favorites.
Yeah,
and you know I love Kino Lorber and Prohibitor and some of the other ones too, but those are my two favorites because I'm a Blu-ray guy, and then Shudder too. I was like, oh my god, like those are the ones you want to
get. And that will
hit.
eventually get a disc, because it's Shudder, so you will get a disc.
I know, and that's all that matters to me, is having a Blu-ray of my movies. Because I have, this is so nerdy, at home in my office I have a section of my favorite movies, and of course The Righteous is in there.
Yeah,
there's space for voices. It's right there.
Now, I mean, I love that we brought this up, because, I mean, obviously you're a physical media guy, I'm a physical media guy, and it really does feel like, when it comes to not just making films, but being able to appreciate films, having sort of that access to the past is so important.
Yeah.
It's so vital.
It's because what if one day the streaming stuff all ends?
Yeah.
And then you're like, I can't watch Casino? I can't watch Reds?
Yeah.
Like, what am I going to do? And I feel like owning it, when I go away and shoot, This brought me a lot of joy recently. A friend of mine sent me a clip of Wes Anderson talking about when he goes away to film somewhere and he's staying in a hotel.
Yeah.
He spends half his time trying to connect the HDMI in the hotel. And I was like, oh my God, he does what I do? Because I bring CD cases of movies.
Right, of course.
And I bring my region-free player, and I bring my regular...
Totally.
I bring two Blu-ray players with me, and I'm just trying to connect it, trying to squeeze into the back of the hotel thing, and then hopefully they don't have motion flow on the TV or whatever. Like, that's my whole life. So having that is so important. And you're right, it is sort of a link to the past.
Well, and especially for guys of like our similar generation, we're not that far apart in age. A lot of people grew up with like the video store culture.
Yeah.
And then Tarantino hit. And then people are like, well, I gotta watch what Tarantino watches. And then people are like, well, I'm only gonna watch what Tarantino watches. And now it's like, well, I'm only gonna watch what Tarantino watches if it streams. But it feels like it's turning back around a little bit to be able to sort of go, no, you know what? Go watch that. Go watch that. Like, go walk into a store and talk to a random person.
Yes, and get... Well, I will say this. For 10 years now, they keep saying physical media is going to go away. It's going to go away. It's going to be obsolete. It's going to be obsolete. I'm like, it's not.
Yeah.
Because people want it. Because we want to own things. We want to touch things and have it and collect it. And not just... It just exists in the ether. Also, outside of it all, I hate when the aspect ratio is not correct on streaming and whatever, and it's compressed, and I'm just like, it drives me crazy. I hate it.
Problem is, it's turned into vinyl now, and everything is at least $50.
Yeah, that's a problem too. Also, when you're getting into the weeds on trying to find Blu-rays, because you have so many, and you're spending $80 on a movie you might watch once, just because you're like, I want to add it to the collection. That's the only... I found some Spanish version. Like, I had to sign up for Amazon in Germany just to get this.
I brought in the UK version of Stuntman, and then I find out 2 weeks later, Shout's doing a version. I'm like, oh, fuck.
The exact same thing happened to me.
Yeah.
I have like a Spanish or French version literally 6 months ago, and I saw the Shout release, and I was like, are you kidding? It drives me nuts when that happens. I just got, it's a real good find. I got Shadow of the Vampire the other day.
Oh, nice.
Really hard to find. That was from Germany. That's
yeah. Oh, Germany's the best.
Yeah. German Amazon. I got that one. I think it was like $70.
No, I mean, end of the day, old man. Like, will you be sort of smiling from ear to ear one day when you find like a German version of Voices of Our Mother?
You know what was really cool? I just had a screening in Halifax of the film, and there was a guy that I was talking to afterwards. We were just chatting. He'd seen the film, and he was a big fan of The Righteous, and that's kind of what brought him to Voices. And he said, he was like, I was just going through like a Barnes & Noble or like a movie bookstore, whatever, and I just bought The Righteous. I said, that's a cool cover. And he said, I just bought it. And I went home and watched it with my dad. And his dad's like a film buff too or whatever. This guy's like in his 30s probably. And he was like, and we just loved it. And we watched it again and we kept talking about it. I was like, that's so cool. That's what it's for that stuff to exist somewhere instead of just clicking on it online. Also, when you buy it too, you feel more of a compulsion to finish it and to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
When you're streaming it, it's just so easy to press the button. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To start it, I mean. Whereas with the Blu-ray, you're like, I went out and got it. I put it in the fucking thing. I press play. I'm waiting. Like, you know what I mean? I have to go through the ads. I have to click through all the warnings and everything. I'm going to finish this thing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Now, I mean, end of the day, for you as like an actor and artist, is that the legacy? Because, I mean, people can say they won awards, etc. And if you win stuff, hey, great, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But I've got to imagine, as a normal person, sort of the legacy is to be like, someone thought my shit was cool.
Yeah.
That makes me feel good, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you'd be lying if you said you didn't want people to love what you do. I mean, that's the whole thing. When you tell a joke, you hope people laugh.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? You're not telling it so people will be like, fuck you. Like, you want them to be like, great, I laughed. That was hilarious. So that is the goal, that you're sharing it.
Yeah.
And people are getting something else out of it that spoke to them in some sort of way. It's like when you have a great story you want to tell someone, like, holy shit, I gotta tell you this story about like Stephanie and Rob. And like you have this great story you want to tell, you want them to be into it. You just want to share, and that's what filmmaking is.
No, I gotta ask, because I know you, like you said, you had another one that you've directed since this. I don't know how much you can talk about it, but I mean, I noticed you didn't write it. Like, how was that as an experience? To sort of go in blind, you know?
One of the reasons I wanted to do it.
Right.
I just wanted to try it. I wanted to test myself. Like, a lot of my favorite directors don't write, like, Fincher or Hitchcock or who have you. So it's... I really wanted to give that a shot, and I wanted to try something after The Righteous and Voices and many of the things I have written that I'm still trying to make. I want to do something that was a bit more like fun, quote unquote. Not fun shooting on the day, but audience fun. like this would be a bit of a blast to watch. Like that's a kickback, fun movie that I can't help myself. It's still challenging. Don't get me wrong. It's challenging and it's dark at times for sure, and it's kind of fucked up and there's a lot of interrelational things going on. But it's a bit more of like popcorn fun. And I was like, I've never thought I'd do this. And I think that's why you can never say never. I always thought I'd write everything I do and it's all going to connect in a certain way. And I was like, no, I just want to do this. And it came my way. I didn't develop it. It was brought to me.
Right.
And I said, you know what? Let's roll.
Nice.
And it was really cool. And and the movie is what I wanted it to be. I mean, we're still in post on it, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
But it's like, it's a fun ride that I think still stays with you as well.
And speaking of fun, when the Fincher Cliff Booth movie comes to the Lightbox for a week, I'm sure I'll see you there. But
oh my god, I cannot wait! Remember when that came out? The press release came out on April 1st.
Oh my god, we all thought it was bullshit.
Yeah, it was bullshit. right. Still can't believe it's happening. I can't wait. Oh my god.
Now, I mean, I'm curious. Are there any rom-coms sort of kicking around the brain, or are we going to be diving into sort of fucked up shit? It's going to be fucked up shit.
It's always fucked up shit for me. I can't do. And by the way, like Nice People, my next movie that's coming out, it's like it's fucked up. It might be fun. It's super fucked up. So I don't know. And the movie, I'm filming a movie right now that I co-wrote and I'm producing and starring in called Good in the Room, which is like a crime hockey thriller.
Oh, fun. Okay.
Yeah, and we're shooting on film, and it's like handheld, sort of like Safdie Brother.
Nice. Okay.
And it's very different. And I'm not directing it. My co-writer Pat Kiley, he's directing it, and we're in the middle of shooting as we speak. And I'm like, wow, this is so different. Still super fucked up. And everything. Me and him look at each other. We're like, this movie's so perverse. Like it's so crazy, but it's cool. I like that. I like challenging people.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm just, it's just to put a bow on this because, I mean, again, this is the fourth time we've talked. And I love talking to you because, I mean, you get down to earth, you're normal, you're a film fan.
Yeah.
For you, when you see a poster like that and you're trying to get people to come in, like, what are the emotions that are kind of running through your brain? Like, dear God, I hope you like it, or just, is it validation? Is it just, please don't let it suck? Like, what are the things that are kind of bouncing around your skull?
I think the first movie, to be really honest, The Righteous, I was just so excited that I made a movie, and I really just wanted people to see it at all. And this one, it's really entertaining. It flies by, but it's saying a lot of things. So I'm curious with this one on how people are going to feel. I think it's a next step for me as a filmmaker. I think it's more bold. I think it does a lot more. I think it's more entertaining, quote unquote, than The Righteous. But I think I'm just excited I got to make another one. Like, I can't believe I've made 3 movies. And I just can't even believe it. Because it's so hard to make a movie, and I've wanted to do it my entire life. And I really do hope people like it, though. I do.
Well, and I mean, I think they will. And I mean, I'll admit, and I mean, mild spoiler, but I mean, when Sheila jumped out the window, I was like, here we go.
That was kind of the thing. You're like, it's slow burn. It's a little righteousy up till then. You're like, I don't really know what's going on. This is interesting. What's happening? And then it happens. You're like, and we're off to the races. And from that point, it was funny. We went to Panic Fest with the movie in Kansas City. It was a really cool festival. And the programmer, when I met him, he was like, man, he was very complimentary about the movie. He liked it a lot. He said, what I liked about it is that once it starts, kind of like halfway through the movie, something happens.
Yeah.
And he said, it could have gone in a direction of other movies, but it just kept going insane. He was like, and by the end, it's full-blown fucking insane. And it just never held back. And it's not a spoiler, but like, I'll just say, I always really appreciated the end of The Departed.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
I really appreciated it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But I mean, man, just honestly, it's such a pleasure always to talk to you, man. But
You
just
too,
keep
man.
up the good work, and just again, thank you for the time, and just congrats on the success of this, man. And just
Thanks,
like
man.
I said, getting a Shudder and getting people to see it, man. At the end of the day, for you as a filmmaker and a storyteller, that's the goal.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. That's so fun, man.
And don't forget to visit our friends over at Bay Street Video for all your DVD Blu-ray rental
or purchasing needs this summer, as they are still open for curbside and some mailing delivery as well. Over at 1172 Bay Street, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, you can give them a call at 416-964-9088. That's 416-964-9088. Or send them an email at baystreetvideoto@gmail.com for any of your DVD and Blu-ray needs.